Which sign is the smartest?
Aquarius. I'm going to go with Capricorn or Gemini.
Scorpio.
So, correct answer, according to whatever source, is Aquarius. Aquariuses thrive when they can express individuality and creativity and are almost always ahead of the curve.
I'm a liar. So you want me to remember something that I done lied about in the past? Like, I don't know.
I haven't had no sex!
I want to do a natural birth. I don't want to have no epidural. I want to go unmedicated. But the other problem is...
Why are you recording?
See, this area is where I spent a huge chunk of my childhood. This storefront used to be called Nelson Brothers Food Shop, which was my grandfather's store. And there used to be a chair right here, the window where he slept, and a lunch meat counter. So this neighborhood always meant a lot to me. That church right there. There was a barber shop and a laundromat on the corner. I remember when Julius Davis Library was up there from the original one. But so that's why, as a person who grew up in these areas, I get disheartened when people be trying to talk about a bunch of hood shit and they only represent the negative aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who they is, who they are, where they from. That shit upsets me because I was born in '84. This actually used to be a decent neighborhood. Even, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like when these people be coming out here and they don't want to tell the truth. Nigga, crack, gang, crime, and everything. I ain't judging nobody. I'm saying it fucked shit up. It ruined it. You know what I'm saying? This area, it was negatively affected by what they consider white flight, whatever the case was, historically, and then other shit pumped up. I mean, Ice Cube got a song called My Summer Vacation, but he said the cats from Cali came down here back in the 80s and started flooding the area with drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up watching black-owned businesses, communities. My grandparents, they had purchased this from some Jewish people back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is back in the 60s, and I remember this. I remember this neighborhood being a thriving neighborhood. I remember that barber shop. You know, shit. When I was with my grandparents, you know, I used to go to church with them at St. James AME. They used to take me Billy Burks, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff influenced the way I saw life, the way I approached it. You know, what I thought life can be. You know, I didn't grow up seeing the hood or the city of St. Louis totally as a bad thing. I mean, it was elements. Yeah, we all got family members and friends into shit, but that wasn't the majority. That has now become the majority, and it's sickening. You know what I'm saying? Even I've been a victim of succumbing to it, you know, being a part of it. So I ain't placing blame on just nobody else. I'm saying even I was part of the problem. But I'm sad. I'm thinking about the future. And I'm wondering, is it possible for this world to get better? You know what I'm saying? This place means. Now I don't know who had it afterwards. But you know, that's what inspired me when it came to ownership, community, even the way that I did comedy, the things I would address in my comedy, the way I would do business before I had my moment of my mental breakdown. And really part of that breakdown was because one, not only, you know, I married two women in my 20s. Both women said they married me because I was ambitious. They knew I wanted something out of life. Both those women said they left me because I wasn't making enough money for them, which is crazy. They wasn't making nothing either. But the thing about it is, but see, I grew up watching my grandparents work side by side running a business. So that's what I inadvertently had saw life as. And I just assumed that was automatic, like, okay, we're married and, you know, but I live life. I mean, right there, Julius David, I spent so much time in there reading books. You know, I went to Langston Middle in 7th grade, grabbed a bunch of international studies in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? You know, these are the type of things I just be around. This is look. So, you know, as I've been working on my continuous process of healing and rediscovering myself and things like that, I'm going back to my roots, and I remember who I am, where I'm from, what I've been through, what I experienced. You know what I'm saying? What made me become who I was when I didn't realize I was who I was, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all glory to God. Thank God for keeping me, even when I didn't want to be kept. Out here doing too much. You know what I'm saying? It make me sad when I see the effects of drugs and alcohol, which I ain't against people doing certain things. Shit, I'm a recovering alcoholic. You know, emphasis on recovering, like I'm still in the process. But you know, like just seeing this stuff, man, it's sad. But you, my bad. I take pride in my family heritage. I took pride in my last name. You know, I know the history. Oh, it came from slavery, came for the white man. Like, I gotta get all that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I take pride in the fact that, you know, outside my mother being from Seoul, Korea, and being adopted to America, raised similar in the closest neighborhood as well, I take pride in the fact that my ancestors were forced to come to America and forced to do things they didn't want or need to do, and they still persevered and they made something out of themselves. And it led to my grandfather coming up from Mississippi, born in 1922. His name is Judge Nelson. Influenced most of his family members to come up to St. Louis with his siblings, and he made a way for them just by taking a chance. I take pride in that. I take pride in that. That he had a business. You know, he did, from my understanding, he was a janitor before, a warehouse, but he worked his way up and got what he needed to do, and that's what inspired me to do the things that I did and how I did them. You know what I'm saying? I went to school with that girl. But, you know, I ain't gonna give up and quit. And when I did want to quit, when I did want to wave the white flag and just like, God, take me now, God kept me, and I thank God that he kept me. I thank God that he keeps me. You know, I'm just staying committed to the process. And I thank God, man. And encourage somebody today. Stop downing people all the fucking time. We ain't talking about there's nothing wrong with keeping it real, or there's nothing wrong with like telling the truth or some redirection criticism, but try some encouragement sometimes. Try some uplifting sometime. Try to tell somebody you proud of them. Let them know that, and tell them what you're proud of. Like, what particular thing are you proud of? Or, you know what I'm saying? Salute them for once. Stop being a fucking hater. Or stop being a hater because you want love from other people, but they ain't giving you love the way that you want and need. And so in return, you hating on niggas, trying to bring niggas down so you can feel better about yourself. Because there's a lot of that shit that be going on too around this motherfucker. And I know it because I experienced it firsthand, and I didn't even realize it because I'm like, see, when you ain't a hater, you ain't looking for hate. When you showing love, you usually, well, I ain't gonna say you should be looking for love, but you're thinking you reap with your soul, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I let the hate get to me. I did. I let the hate get to me. I had let that hate get to me. See, these niggas be talking about what hood they from. These niggas, I feel you, but you represent the lowest level of that neighborhood that you represent. If you associate yourself with gang activity, crime, selling drugs, killing people, and murder, You ain't even associating yourself with the shit that people should be proud of. Now, I salute the fact that you took what you had and made something out of it, or you had to adapt to your environment. Like, I get it. I get it. But what about the pride in the fucking the businesses, the families that was there? Why are you proud of the parts that destroyed your community? Why are you proud of that part more so than you are the businesses that was in that neighborhood that was feeding families? And those who gonna get the message gonna get it, and those who ain't. And I promise you, I'm a product of those environments too, so I get it and I empathize. It is not a judgment thing. It's just that I'm seeing what my grandfather did for his family. And then me, as a man, I used to read Roots. I read Roots numerous times. I read the story of Malcolm X. I remember as a kid reading Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, and the books that coincided with it, Mildred D. Taylor. Yeah, it was childhood books. But those books had an effect on me, the way I saw things. History. Like, y'all don't realize, like, history is repeating itself. Like, niggas going backwards, bro. We're not going forward. You had a window of opportunity and you fumbled the ball. You dropped the ball. You was close to the end zone just like that dude the other day playing football. Dropped the ball before he made it in the end zone. Celebrate too early. But it's okay. You'll bounce back. You just ain't used to success. I wasn't either. Take a minute to adjust. It'll take a minute to adjust. To get used to success. To get used to winning. To begin used to being on the other side of this shit. It take a minute. That's how a lot of us fuck up, because we ain't never had this shit before. You know what I'm saying? You know, my dad dropped the ball. His daddy set him up. His family set him up. My daddy dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? He used to love go speakeasies and hanging out with niggas that's smoking and drinking and shit. He didn't hang around good husbands and good fathers. He didn't hang around those who were doing well with their life. And I ain't knocking him. He loved music. Nigga should have bought some DJ equipment. This nigga always going to lounges and shit. Even to this day, he'll go to the lounge. This man goes to the lounge and he want to play music and stuff. He loves music. He loves things like that. You know, maybe his family should invest in him being a fucking DJ or something. I don't fucking know. But I'm just saying, he didn't carry the torch. So I can continue to build off of that. And then my children can build off of that. So I got to get it out the mud. I got to get it out the dirt. That's all I've been working on most of my life. Getting out the mud, getting out the dirt. Showing love along the way. Breaking bread to my highest levels of understanding capabilities. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't raised rich, nigga. I grew up fucked up. You know, but those exposures, experiences that I had, it influenced the way I saw life and the way I maneuvered and moved. And I got off track for a while. I did. Shit, heartbreak a motherfucker, nigga. Divorce a motherfucker. Losing access to your children is a motherfucker. Making dumbass decisions based on how you feel is a motherfucker. Look at me, I'm passing up beacon. My dad used to love hanging at speakeasies. You know, which I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying? But niggas know when this community start going down the drain. Y'all niggas know exactly what years. You know exactly who was doing what. You niggas glorifying niggas who was murdering each other. Y'all niggas glorifying people who was taking crack, heroin and all that shit, poisoning their communities. Niggas who brought gangs, like, y'all let niggas come from a whole nother state and set up shop here and bring gangs. Now, of course, St. Louis, the mob, the mafia, all that shit's been around for decades, but we ain't them, dog. They got in and got out at a good time. They own the companies. You know, alcohol was illegal at one point, and then prohibition happened, and some shit I can't quite remember at the moment. But Those people, those other cultures, whether Irish, Jewish people, Italians, they got it. They got it already. They in transition now. Their criminal activities turned to legitimate businesses at one point. You know, before we had the lottery, what they was running numbers. Where the fuck? We didn't get to capitalize off of that in the same way. It wasn't meant for us to. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But it's things we learned even in the midst of the chaos and the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?